Hi everyone. Today we invite you on a wonderful journey into a world where time seems to have stood still and a heart is filled with inexhaustible energy and wisdom. Before you is Grandma Agnes, and this isn't just a story about an elderly woman. It's a tale about a life lived to the fullest, about unbreakable optimism, about a garden that blooms not just in the soil, but also in the soul. Grandma Agnes is 82 years old, but believe me, her spirit is young and her thirst for adventure never wanes. She'll prove to you that age is just a number and true youth is a state of mind. It's the sparkle in your eyes. It's the ability to rejoice in every new day. So, get ready to dive into the world of her stories, her wisdom, her slightly rebellious, but always sincere character. We'll show you how Grandma Agnes transforms the everyday into a celebration, and how her example can inspire each of us. Stay with us. It's going to be interesting. To 5 years old, childhood embraced by nature. Little Agnes grew up in a small village where the air was filled with the scent of herbs and the sounds of nature were her first lullabies. Her home stood on the outskirts of the village, surrounded by endless forests and golden fields that stretched to the horizon. Every day was a new discovery. She spent hours running barefoot through the dewy grass, gathering bright wildflowers from which her mother would weave her wreaths. Family life and daily rhythms. Agnes's family lived a simple yet fulfilling life, deeply connected to the rhythm of the seasons. Her mother, Maria, was a gentle and patient woman, with hands that were always busy, whether tending to the small vegetable garden, baking fresh bread, or mending clothes. Maria taught Agnes about the edible plants in the forest, the names of the constellations, and the importance of kindness to all creatures. Her father, Ivan, was a sturdy and quiet man, a farmer who worked the land from dawn till dusk. He taught Agnes how to identify different bird calls and shared stories of the ancient trees in the nearby woods. Meals were humble but hearty, often consisting of freshly baked bread, homemade cheese, vegetables from their garden, and sometimes berries or mushrooms Agnes had gathered herself. They ate what the land provided, and everything tasted fresh and pure. Hobbies and play. Agnes's hobbies weren't organized activities, but rather an organic exploration of her natural surroundings. She was a budding botanist and zoologist without even knowing it. Her favorite pastime was exploring the woods, where she'd discover hidden streams, watch squirrels bury nuts, and spend hours observing ant colonies. She also loved collecting interesting stones and feathers, creating her own little museum on a sunlit windowsill. Agnes was also quite adept at braiding flowers and grasses, creating intricate designs. Storytelling was another cherished activity. Her parents would tell her folk tales and legends by the crackling fire on cool evenings, sparking her vivid imagination. Friends and social life. In such a small village, children often played together freely. Agnes's closest friends were Misha, a mischievous boy with a bright smile, and Lena, a quiet girl with a love for drawing. Their days were filled with imaginative games, building forts from branches, playing hide-and-seek among the tall sunflowers. 5-10 years old, first steps into knowledge. School years began for Agnes with considerable enthusiasm. The small village schoolhouse, a single room filled with the scent of chalk and old books, quickly became a second home. Agnes was an exceptionally curious and lively girl, always the first to raise her hand. She devoured books with a passion that surprised even her teachers, often finishing her lessons early to sneak in extra reading time. It was during this period that her profound love for stories and narratives took root. She wasn't just a reader. She was a natural storyteller, captivating her friends during recess with vivid retellings of fairy tales, local legends, and adventures from her favorite books. Her imagination truly soared within the pages of a good story. Hobbies and handcrafts. Beyond her academic pursuits, Agnes also began to develop a keen interest in handicrafts. This was largely influenced by her grandmother, Sophia, a woman with nimble fingers and a lifetime of traditional skills. Sophia taught Agnes the basics of embroidery, showing her how to create delicate floral patterns on linen using vibrant threads. Agnes also learned to knit simple scarves and mittens from wool, carefully counting stitches under her grandmother's watchful eye. Another skill she picked up was basket weaving, using pliable willow branches gathered from the riverbanks. These hands-on activities weren't just pastimes. They were a way for Agnes to connect with her heritage, to create beauty with her own hands, and to develop patience and precision. The tactile satisfaction of transforming raw materials into something useful or beautiful brought her immense joy. Music in the home. Music was a gentle backdrop to Agnes's childhood. While there wasn't a gramophone or radio in every home in the village, folk songs and traditional melodies were ever present. Her mother, Maria, would often hum lullabies and work songs as she went about her daily chores. Her father, Ivan, though quieter, sometimes played a simple flute, sopanilka, in the evenings, its melancholic yet soothing tunes drifting through their humble cottage. The community gathered for festivals and celebrations where accordion and violin music filled the air, accompanied by lively dancing and singing. Agnes absorbed these sounds, finding comfort and rhythm in the traditional melodies that spoke of village life, love, and the land. Relationships with parents. Agnes's relationship with her parents during these years grew deeper and more nuanced. Her mother, Maria, remained a source of gentle guidance and emotional support. They shared quiet moments together, whether shelling peas in the kitchen or walking through the fields, during which Maria would impart wisdom about life, nature, and kindness. Agnes felt understood and cherished by her mother. Her father, Ivan, while still a man of few words, expressed his love through his actions and his presence. He took pride in Agnes's academic achievements and her growing skills in handicrafts. He might not have offered effusive praise, but an approving nod or a shared moment of quiet observation in nature spoke volumes to Agnes. She respected his hardworking nature and learned from his quiet strength. Their home was a place of stability, warmth, and mutual respect, fostering a sense of security and belonging for young Agnes, 10, 15 years old. Youth filled with dreams. Agnes's teenage years were a time of profound discoveries and burgeoning independence. The boundless energy she'd always possessed found a new outlet in athletics. She threw herself into track and field with characteristic enthusiasm, finding joy in the rhythmic thump of her running shoes on the dusty track and the exhilarating rush of wind in her hair. She wasn't naturally the fastest, but her dedication was unmatched. Every morning before school, she'd be out practicing, pushing herself to run a little further, jump a little higher. This commitment not only strengthened her physically, but also forged her resilient character. For Agnes, school competitions weren't just about winning. They were about personal growth and pushing her own limits, an outlook that nurtured her inherent optimism and zest for life. She learned that effort and perseverance were their own rewards, regardless of the final outcome. First love and budding romance. It was also during these years that Agnes experienced the tender stirrings of first love. His name was Taras, a boy from a neighboring farm with kind eyes and a shy smile that could make Agnes's heart flutter. They met, predictably, at a village fair. A vibrant affair filled with folk music, traditional dances, and the aroma of freshly baked goods. Taras was a year older than Agnes, and already had a quiet confidence about him. Their courtship was innocent and sweet, unfolding against the backdrop of their rural lives. They'd exchange shy glances during village gatherings, share hushed conversations during school breaks, and sometimes he'd walk her home after evening lessons, lingering at her gate under the vast starry sky. Their dates involved simple pleasures, picking wild berries together in the sun-drenched fields, sitting by the riverbank, skipping stones, or helping each other with their chores, turning mundane tasks into shared adventures. Taras, with his gentle nature, was a stark contrast to Agnes's spirited energy, and they balanced each other perfectly. He would listen intently as Agnes recounted her latest book adventures or athletic achievements, offering quiet encouragement. She, in turn, found comfort in his calm presence. Their affection was unspoken for the most part, conveyed through blushing cheeks, lingering hand touches, and the shared understanding that blossomed between them. This early romance, though fleeting as many first loves are, left an indelible mark on Agnes, teaching her about connection, vulnerability, and the simple beauty of shared moments. It was a time when dreams felt limitless and the future stretched out, bright and full of possibility. 18 to 20 years old, a time of change and first challenges. The period between 15 and 20 marked a significant turning point in Agnes's life. Graduating from school and enrolling in a vocational college to specialize as a seamstress was a momentous step. It meant leaving the familiar tranquility of her village and moving to the city, a daunting prospect for a girl who had spent her entire life surrounded by fields and forests. The city was a bewildering tapestry of new sights, sounds, and smells. The bustling streets, the endless stream of unfamiliar faces, and the towering buildings were a stark contrast to her quiet rural upbringing. These were years of intense independence and adaptation. Agnes found herself navigating a new environment, managing her own expenses, and adjusting to the fast pace of urban life. Her inherent resilience and unwavering spirit were her greatest allies as she faced these new challenges. She learned to rely on herself, finding strength in her own capabilities, finding her place from loneliness to respect. Initially, Agnes found it incredibly difficult to make friends in the city. Her polite, somewhat reserved village manners seemed out of place among the more boisterous city dwellers. While her classmates at the college were friendly enough, deep connections didn't form easily. She often felt a pang of loneliness, missing the easy camaraderie she'd shared with Misha and Lena back home. Her evenings were spent studying or meticulously practicing her stitching, the quiet of her small rented room emphasizing her solitude. The turning point came during her first months working at the local garment factory. The factory floor was a cacophony of whirring machines and chattering voices, a demanding environment where everyone was focused on their own tasks. One particularly busy afternoon, an unexpected problem arose. A new, complex order had come in, requiring a very specific and intricate stitching technique that most of the seasoned seamstresses were struggling with, causing delays and frustration. The foreman was growing increasingly agitated, and the tension on the floor was palpable. Agnes, with her meticulous training and inherent knack for precision, had been quietly observing. Drawing on her grandmother's teachings and her own tireless practice, she realized she knew how to execute the difficult stitch. Hesitantly, she approached a supervisor and quietly offered to help, demonstrating the technique on a sample piece. Her fingers, accustomed to the delicate work of embroidery, moved with surprising speed and accuracy. Her quick thinking and skillful execution not only solved the immediate problem, but also earned her the immediate respect of her colleagues and superiors. From that day on, the coldness Agnes had felt began to thaw. Fellow seamstresses started approaching her for advice, sharing a knowing glance or a word of encouragement. They saw not just a quiet village girl, but a competent, reliable, and humble individual. She was no longer just the new girl. She was a valued member of the team. This single act of quiet competence transformed her experience, solidifying her place both at the factory and within her new urban community. It was a powerful lesson in how actions, more than words, could forge genuine connections and earn lasting respect. 20 to 25 years old. First love and the start of family life. This period marked the beginning of a beautiful new chapter for Agnes, one filled with profound love and the blossoming of her own family. It was during these years that she met her true soulmate, a young, hardworking man who would become her steadfast partner in life. Their meeting, surprisingly, was both comical and undeniably romantic. A fateful encounter at the fabric market. It was a bustling Saturday morning at the city's central fabric market. a chaotic symphony of vibrant textiles, haggling vendors, and eager customers. Agnes, ever the dedicated seamstress, was on a mission to find a particular shade of emerald green linen for a complex new order at the factory. Her eyes, usually so keen, were entirely focused on the bolts of fabric. Meanwhile, a young man named Dmitro, a budding carpenter with a warm smile and hands calloused from honest work, was navigating the same crowded aisle. He was searching for a sturdy canvas for a custom awning he was building. As fate would have it, both reached for the very last bolt of a rich, dark blue fabric at precisely the same moment. Hands brushed, and Agnes, still focused on the elusive green, barely registered it. Dmitro, however, was immediately captivated by her focused intensity and the single stubborn curl that had escaped her neatly pinned hair. "Excuse me," he began, a polite smile on his face. "I believe this bolt is mine." Agnes, finally looking up, realized their hands were indeed intertwined over the fabric. "Oh, I apologize," she exclaimed, her cheeks flushing slightly. "I was so absorbed. Please, you can have it." Dmitro, seeing her kind eyes and genuine embarrassment, chuckled. No, he insisted. "It seems we have similar taste. How about we split it? Or perhaps you tell me what you need it for, and I'll find another solution." Agnes, charmed by his easygoing manner, found herself explaining her quest for the elusive green linen. Dmitro, ever resourceful, suddenly brightened. "My aunt runs a small notions shop just a few blocks from here," he offered. "She has an incredible selection, and if anyone has that exact shade, it would be her. I'd be happy to walk you there." And so, what began as a comical mix-up over a bolt of fabric transformed into a leisurely walk through the city, filled with unexpected laughter and easy conversation. Agnes found herself telling Dmitro about her village, her love for stories, and her passion for sewing. Dmitro, in turn, shared his dreams of building beautiful furniture and his love for the scent of fresh-cut wood. Marriage and shared dreams, their connection was immediate and undeniable. Dmitro's steady nature complemented Agnes's vibrant spirit, and both shared a deep respect for hard work and a quiet determination to build a good life. Their dates were simple but meaningful. Strolls through the city park, shared cups of kvass, and evenings spent simply talking, discovering new layers of understanding with each passing day. They quickly realized they had found something truly special. Within a year, they were married in a small, heartfelt ceremony in the village church, surrounded by their loving families. It was a day filled with joy, traditional songs, and the promise of a future built together. Their early years of marriage were a time of immense happiness and shared dreams of building their own cozy home and, eventually, a family. Agnes, now a wife, continued to work diligently at the sewing factory. She was eager to actively master new sewing techniques, always striving to improve her skills. Her hands, already so adept, became even more precise as she learned intricate patterns, specialized stitches, and how to work with a wider variety of fabrics. This period was not just about professional growth. It was about laying the foundation for their shared life, weaving their aspirations together, stitch by careful stitch. They faced the future hand in hand, their hearts full of love and optimism, building their family nest. The years between 30 and 35 were a period of intense dedication and shared effort for Agnes and Dimitro, as they embarked on the ambitious project of building their own home. This wasn't just a house, it was their family nest, a physical manifestation of their shared dreams and hard work. Having saved diligently from their respective jobs at the factory and as a carpenter, they found a small plot of land on the outskirts of the city, a place that offered a comforting blend of urban convenience and a touch of the rural tranquility Agnes still cherished. Agnes was far from a passive observer in this grand endeavor. Her practicality and determination to see things through shone brightly during every stage of the construction, from the initial planning phases, poring over blueprints with Dimitro late into the night, to the meticulous selection of materials. She was an active and indispensable participant. She insisted on a layout that maximized natural light and incorporated practical, ample storage, drawing on her own experiences of growing up in a simpler home. While Dimitro handled the heavy carpentry and structural work, Agnes was right there beside him, often getting her hands dirty. She learned to mix mortar for the foundations, helped carry bricks, and spent countless hours sanding wooden beams until they were perfectly smooth. Her keen eye for detail, honed by years of intricate sewing, proved invaluable during the finishing stages. She was meticulous about the plasterwork, ensuring every wall was smooth, and her artistic flair came alive in the interior decoration. She meticulously chose paint colors, designed and stitched curtains and upholstery, and even crafted small wooden accents with Dimitro's guidance, turning a mere structure into a warm, inviting home. This hands-on involvement deepened their bond as they navigated challenges and celebrated milestones together. Every nail hammered, every wall painted, and every piece of furniture carefully placed infused their home with their love and shared history. This period truly underscored Agnes's unwavering commitment, her ability to tackle any task, and her deep-seated desire to create a secure and beautiful haven for her burgeoning family. 35 to 40 years old. Stability and new passions. By the time Agnes reached her mid-30s, life had settled into a comfortable rhythm of stability. Their beautiful new home was complete, a testament to their shared hard work, and it was now filled with the joyous energy of their growing children. With her children becoming more independent, Agnes found herself with a precious commodity: more time for herself and for cultivating new passions. It was during this period that her lifelong love for nature blossomed with renewed vigor, finding its perfect outlet in gardening. Her own yard, once a simple plot, began its remarkable transformation into a vibrant oasis. Agnes approached gardening with the same dedication and meticulousness she applied to her sewing. She devoured books on horticulture, learned about soil composition, and experimented with different plants. Eagerly anticipating each bloom, she spent countless hours in her garden, hands in the rich earth, tending to her growing collection of flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Every morning, she'd be out inspecting her rose bushes for new buds, carefully weeding around her flourishing tomato plants, or simply sitting on a small bench, taking in the beauty she had helped create. The garden became her sanctuary, a place of profound solace and inspiration. It was where she could connect with the earth, observe the intricate dance of bees and butterflies, and find peace amidst the demands of daily life. The cycles of planting, nurturing, and harvesting brought her immense satisfaction, a tangible reward for her efforts. Her garden wasn't just a collection of plants. It was a living, breathing reflection of Agnes's enduring spirit and her deep connection to the natural world. 40 to 45 years old. Maturity and life's wisdom. The period between Agnes's 40th and 45th birthdays brought with it a profound sense of maturity and an even deeper understanding of life. Her experiences, from her idyllic childhood in the village to her challenges in the city and the joy of building a family, had all converged to shape a woman of remarkable insight and quiet strength. During these years, Agnes naturally became the pillar of her family and circle of friends. People instinctively turned to her for guidance, knowing that her advice was always grounded in practicality, empathy, and a healthy dose of common sense. She wasn't one to offer quick fixes. Instead, she'd listen intently, consider all angles, and then share her thoughts, often through gentle questions that encouraged others to find their own solutions. Whether it was a friend struggling with a difficult decision, a relative facing a personal crisis, or her own children navigating the complexities of their growing lives, Agnes was always there, offering a steady hand and a comforting presence. Her wry sense of humor, always a part of her personality, became even more honed and refined during this time. She developed a knack for finding the lighter side of everyday annoyances and absurdities, deflecting stress with a well-timed, witty remark or an ironic observation. This wasn't a cynical humor, but rather a coping mechanism, a way to add a touch of levity to life's inevitable bumps. It allowed her to navigate daily challenges with greater ease, reminding herself and those around her not to take things too seriously, and that a little laughter could often be the best medicine. This period truly cemented Agnes's role as the wise, calm, and subtly humorous matriarch, a source of comfort and perspective for everyone in her life. 45 to 50 years old, first grandchildren and new roles. The years between 45 and 50 brought an incredibly joyous and transformative chapter into Agnes's life, the arrival of her first grandchildren. With their tiny hands and bright eyes, her world truly burst into new colors, vibrant and full of unbridled delight. Agnes embraced her new role as a grandmother with boundless enthusiasm and open arms. All the wisdom she had accumulated, the stories she loved to tell, and the quiet patience she had honed over the years now found a fresh, eager audience. She reveled in every moment, whether it was rocking a newborn to sleep, patiently teaching a toddler to identify flowers in her beloved garden, or sharing the secrets of baking her famous apple pie. Her home, already a haven of warmth, became an even more bustling and joyful place, filled with the sounds of children's laughter and playful chatter. This new role didn't just add to her life. It amplified her already nurturing nature. Agnes's ability to create warmth and comfort around herself deepened, extending effortlessly to her grandchildren. She was always ready with a comforting hug, a captivating story, or a special treat. The boundless love she poured into her family now cascaded onto a new generation, solidifying her place as the beloved heart of their expanding family. For Agnes, watching her children become parents and seeing her own legacy continue through her grandchildren was one of life's greatest blessings. Filling these years with profound happiness and a renewed sense of purpose. 55 years old, an active life and travels. Upon retiring, Agnes had no intention of slowing down or sitting idly by. In fact, her post-work years ignited a new spark of adventure. This was a period where her rebellious spirit truly came to the forefront. As she embraced the thrill of new experiences without fear. With the newfound freedom of retirement, Agnes began to travel more extensively. She wasn't seeking luxurious resorts. Rather, her journeys were about exploration and connection. She visited various corners of her country, often choosing destinations off the beaten path, charming villages nestled in mountains, historical towns along ancient rivers, and vibrant coastal communities. These weren't just sightseeing trips. They were opportunities to meet new people, immerse herself in local cultures, and learn new stories. She might strike up conversations with artisans in local markets, share meals with friendly innkeepers, or even join in impromptu folk dances. Each trip was an adventure, a chance to see the world through fresh eyes, and to prove that age was just a number when it came to curiosity and daring. Her friends and family would often marvel at her tales of independent exploration, a testament to her enduring vitality and her unwavering desire to live life to the fullest. This active period was a vibrant chapter, showcasing Agnes's independent nature and her joy in discovering the vast beauty of the world around her. 55 to 60 years old, creativity and hobbies. As Agnes moved into her late 50s, her life became a vibrant tapestry woven with the threads of creativity and passion. With the children grown and her home a settled haven, she had the time and peace to truly dedicate herself to her beloved hobbies, particularly handicrafts. This wasn't just a casual pastime. It was a period where Agnes's creative potential fully blossomed. Her nimble fingers, which had once sewn uniforms at the factory and crafted curtains for her home, now spun magic into intricate creations. She delved deeper into the arts she had learned as a young girl, embroidery, knitting, and perhaps even branching out into quilting or lace making. Each piece she created was not merely an object, but a labor of love, imbued with her kindness and warmth. She made exquisite gifts for her loved ones and friends, intricately knitted shawls that offered comfort on chilly evenings, beautifully embroidered tablecloths that added elegance to family gatherings, or unique quilted blankets that told stories through their patterns. These weren't mass-produced items. They were unique works of art, each stitch and knot reflecting her generous spirit and meticulous attention to detail. Sharing these handmade treasures became a profound way for Agnes to express her affection and connect with those she cherished. Her home often smelled faintly of yarn and fabric, and there was always a half-finished project waiting on her favorite armchair, a testament to her ever-flowing creativity and the joy she found in bringing beauty into the world. 65 years old, the pillar of the family. As Agnes entered her early 60s, her role within her expanding family solidified into that of a true matriarch and unwavering anchor. Her home, the one she had helped build with such care, transformed into the vibrant heart of her large family, a constant hub of activity, warmth, and unconditional support. It was during these years that family members, young and old, instinctively turned to her. They came for wise counsel, seeking her perspective on life's challenges. They came for practical help, knowing her hands were always ready to assist, whether with a mending project or a comforting meal. But most of all, they came simply for support, for the reassurance that only Agnes could provide. Her own life experiences had forged in her an unbreakable optimism, a quiet certainty that difficulties could be overcome. This inherent positivity was infectious, helping others to navigate their own struggles with renewed hope. Agnes's door was, quite literally, always open to everyone. There was always a pot of tea brewing, a comforting word ready, and a space at her table for anyone who needed it. She listened without judgment, offered comfort without pity, and radiated a calming strength that made everyone feel safe and loved. This period truly underscored Agnes's profound impact on her family, cementing her legacy as the beloved, resilient, and ever-optimistic center of their world. 65 to 70 years old. Tranquility and savoring the moment. As Agnes entered her late 60s, life settled into a beautiful rhythm of tranquility and profound appreciation for each passing day. These weren't years of grand adventures or major life changes, but rather a cherished period of quiet contentment. She spent ample time in her beloved garden, which by now was a mature and thriving sanctuary. It was where she found solace, watching the seasons unfold, tending to her plants with gentle hands, and simply basking in the beauty she had cultivated. The rustling leaves and the buzzing of bees provided a peaceful soundtrack to her days. Reading continued to be a cherished pastime. Agnes would often lose herself in the pages of a good book, exploring new worlds or revisiting old favorites from the comfort of her armchair. But perhaps most fulfilling was the time she spent connecting with her grandchildren. Now older, they would visit frequently, filling her home with laughter and lively chatter. She'd share stories, offer gentle advice, or simply listen, reveling in their presence and the strong bonds they shared. This was a time when Agnes truly valued silence and the simple pleasure of just being herself. She found joy in the small moments: a warm cup of tea on a quiet morning, the soft purr of a cat on her lap, or a heartfelt conversation with a loved one. Having navigated life's many challenges and triumphs, Agnes had earned this period of peaceful reflection, savoring the present and finding deep satisfaction in the simple yet profound beauty of her everyday life. 75 years old, wisdom and passing on experience. As Agnes entered her early 70s, she fully embraced her role as the true keeper of family traditions and stories. Her life, rich with experiences and lessons learned, became an open book for the younger generations, a vibrant narrative passed down through gentle guidance and heartfelt conversations. She dedicated herself to actively sharing her profound life experience with her children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren. These weren't formal lessons, but rather organic moments around the kitchen table, in the garden, or during family gatherings. Agnes would recount tales of her childhood in the village, the challenges of moving to the city, the joy of building her home, and the simple beauty she found in everyday life. Through these stories, she subtly instilled in them the importance of valuing life in all its facets, the good times and the tough ones, and the essential virtue of kindness towards all living things. Her deep wisdom became a wellspring of inspiration for many. She had a way of distilling complex situations into simple truths, offering insights that resonated deeply. Her presence was a comforting reminder of resilience, love, and the enduring power of family. Agnes's legacy during these years wasn't just in the stories she told, but in the values she lovingly imparted, ensuring that the warmth and wisdom she embodied would continue to guide and inspire her family for generations to come. 75 to 80 years old, a love for life above all. Even as Agnes gracefully entered her late 70s, her love for life remained remarkably vibrant and unwavering. Age, for her, was merely a number, and it certainly didn't diminish her boundless enthusiasm for the world around her. She continued to tend to her beloved garden, though perhaps at a slightly more leisurely pace. Her hands, still skilled, found immense satisfaction in nurturing her plants, and the garden remained a source of peace and joy. The aroma of freshly baked treats often wafted from her kitchen as she continued to prepare delicious meals and baked goods for her family and friends, a testament to her enduring generosity and warmth. Agnes was always ready for new experiences, whether it was trying a new recipe, listening to a new piece of music, or hearing about the latest adventures of her grandchildren. Her mind remained sharp, her curiosity intact. Her positive energy didn't wane. It intensified with each passing year, radiating outward to uplift everyone fortunate enough to be in her orbit. Agnes, even in her senior years, was a living embodiment of optimism, a true testament to finding beauty and joy in every moment of life. 80 82 years old. Current age, Grandma, the legend. Currently at 82 years young, Grandma Agnes isn't just a beloved family member. She's a true legend to her entire family and circle of friends. Her spirit, remarkably, remains as youthful and vibrant as ever, defying the passage of time. She continues to amaze everyone around her with her sharp wit and her inexhaustible optimism. Her mind is as keen as it ever was, capable of recalling detailed stories from decades past and offering astute observations on current events. She's always ready with a clever remark or a heartfelt laugh, bringing light and joy wherever she goes. Grandma Agnes is a living testament to how one can live a bright and rich life, regardless of age. She embodies resilience, wisdom, and an enduring zest for existence. Her journey is a continuous source of inspiration, proving that life's chapters only add depth and beauty to the story of a remarkable woman. And so, as the final embers of our shared story gently fade, we reach the quiet conclusion of our journey with the remarkable Grandma Agnes. We truly hope that her radiant spirit, her deep well of wisdom, and her unwavering joy for life have touched your heart as profoundly as they have touched ours. May the moments you've spent with Agnes leave you with a lingering sense of peace, a renewed spark of inspiration, and perhaps a gentle reminder that every single day holds an untold beauty waiting to be discovered. Remember her infectious laughter, the sparkle in her eyes when she spoke of her beloved garden, and her powerful conviction that life, at any age, is an extraordinary gift meant to be lived to its fullest, with an open heart and a curious mind. As you step back into your own world, carry with you a piece of her enduring warmth. Let her story be a gentle whisper that encourages you to find the extraordinary in the ordinary, to cherish the quiet moments, and to always, always believe in the power of a kind word and a genuine smile. Thank you for joining us on this truly special exploration of a life so wonderfully lived. We are endlessly grateful for your presence, for your willingness to listen, and for sharing in the profound wisdom that Grandma Agnes so freely offers. Until next time, may your path be filled with light, your heart with contentment, and your spirit with the same boundless joy that defines our beloved Grandma Agnes. Take care, and farewell for now.